Max are up. Studios live.
Welcome inside the locker room.
Welcome to the program that actually talks a lot about sports in a very exciting way. Joining us to give detailed analysis to the sports stories this morning is Tega. Tega, excited to see you.
Did you greet me with the
I did. What?
Wait, you said the food item she added at the end.
The number is 0809 444 You can tweet to us at Smooth981FM with the hashtag lockerroom981. And yeah, that's it. And then on YouTube, you can watch us live and also leave a comment there on our YouTube channel, 1FM Lagos.
Indeed.
Our first story today, Nigeria's campaign at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in France 2018 came to an end yesterday as the Falconets crashed out after losing to Spain.
Well,
yeah, we saw it coming. So first half goals from Aitana Bomati and Patri Guigado gave the La Rojita a 2-1 victory over Nigeria. Spanish women passage to the semi-final, unfortunately for us. Now, though they halved their deficit, Nigeria were unable to find an equalizer as Spain saw out the remainder of the contest to reach the last four of the competition for the first time.
yes. Well, I think the only was 2-1 was a pretty good result. If you ask me, that I was expecting from Spain, it could have been.
Could have been more.
In my head, I expected that Spain would be thrashing us like 4-1, 4-0,
6.
you know, that kind of thing. But the Spanish side, it should have been 3-1 because they did score a goal. Unfortunately, because FIFA and CAF do not pay attention to women's football, there was no goal line technology, there was no VAR. The Under-20 World Cup for last year for the boys had VAR. That's where they try out the VAR, and then there was goal line technology. For the women, nothing. They're like, we don't have money to be spending on technology. People should
fair.
play it anyhow.
Not fair.
It's not like there'll be too much controversies. There are. And yesterday was one of them. So there was a free kick and the ball clearly crossed the line, but because there was no goal line technology, referee said play on, and everybody else, just played on.
Would that have given us a goal?
That would have given them a third goal.
So we're not complaining.
Where did you see the goal? The one goal you scored. I mean, in second half, Nigeria came out like a totally different team. They had more ambition. They came out with a little more aggression, but they were still not. You can't put in what was left out. So there was no tactical training. There was no tactical ability. There was no structure. There was no real technique compared to their mates in Spain. So in as much as they did put in a little more aggression, they're able to hustle, and that's the word I'll use, hustle one goal in, but that was the best they could do. Again, goalkeeper Nadoze was outstanding of Spain's chances, but at the end of the day, the best team really did win. Ultimately, Spain went through. So Spain have gone through now, and they're going to face France, one of my favorite teams also at this tournament. Yes, they have a player Laurent that's fantastic. You don't want to know. So they are the ones that are to face each other today. It would be a question of if Japan and Germany will be able to go through, and let's see who will make the final. So today's games again, the 2:45 and 6:15. So let's see.
All right. Now up next, let's talk about more of our Nigerian women making the news, but this time it's a little bit of fighting going on here. The Tigresses revealed their tiger spirit. Former captain Aisha Mohammed has a formal complaint against her by her Tigress teammate Ijoma Ajemba for assault in the US. It gets serious. So the chaos at the Atlanta base of the African champions hit ultra high on Monday, the 13th of August, when Ajemba was said to have notified local authorities about an altercation involving the 2017 Afrobasket winning captain, Mohammed herself, and 3 other Tigress players trying to break the squabble at the lobby of their hotel base in Atlanta on the 27th of July.
Okay, bottom line, it seems the fighting at the NBBF has transferred to the players on court. So we're supposed to have a World Cup, and this is the preparation for World Cup. This was supposed to be Camp A, and then Camp B is going to start on Saturday in Lagos, but the camp is scattered. Apparently, before a lot of things culminated to this. So you also know about the firing of the coach Sam Vincent, who said he had a team into the old team manager who was part of the other board's selection. And then some people were listening to him. Bottom line, he was fired. They brought in a new coach. They have a new team manager. Now, team manager has some players that are her favorites. Well, she's supporting Aisha Mohammed. And she's told Ajemba that you will never play for Nigerian basketball again. You're done.
Wow.
And truth be told, after this altercation, even if Aisha Mohammed was stripped of her captaincy, Ajemba has been expelled from camp. She was the one that witnesses say was hit. But it's Aisha Mohammed that is suing for some.
Who reported first?
so here's what. So it's just crazy. So because of the in the camp, so Aisha Mohammed has her problems with Ijoma. Their players are split down the middle, and they were fighting. And so Ajemba calls the police and says, there's a fight going on here, you need to stop it. Eyewitnesses come and say, oh, Aisha was that Ijoma assaulted her. So we don't even know what the problem according to witnesses, it was Ijoma that was hit. According to Aisha that is filing the complaint, there was an assault case against her. We don't know who started the fight. So there's a lot of things going on, and the World Cup is just around the corner. And they're supposed to start camp here. So here's the problem. The Aisha is the captain, but she may not come because she's suspended. And she was stripped of her captain's armband because of this fight. Now, the person that's supposed to replace her, Adora, is not even in camp.
Oh, boy. Okay. It gets more interesting.
So you can imagine why it is so important for the leadership of wherever it is, whether it's the NFF, whether it's the supporters club, whether it's the National Basketball Federation, to be one house, because ultimately these kind of things trickle down, and then everything is in chaos. So yeah, the president of the Basketball Federation, I mean, hasn't been reached to give us his own version, or he doesn't even know what's going on. This is happening in Atlanta, so he has to wait till they come to Lagos, then they will have a full house meeting. But if somebody is suspended, who is going to come to Lagos? If one person was expelled, are they still going to come for the national team? So there's just too much going
fighting.
Too much.
Wow. Talking about people leaving and others staying and congratulating the other, let's talk about Victor Moses, shall we? Former Super Eagles midfielder Garba Lawal said Nigerian football fans shouldn't bother much about Victor Moses' decision to quit the national team. Moses shocked his numerous fans and fellow teammates when he announced his decision to walk away from the Nigerian setup. I wasn't surprised. In a statement from Lawal, he told a reporter that it is not a big deal. That's his choice. He chose to play for Nigeria, and now he has decided not to play. Is Victor Moses expecting us to beg him to play for the country? No one does that, because Nigeria is such a big country with several talents. Wow.
I think that's very
unloading.
I think that's very flippant and disrespectful of Lawal.
Yes.
Because ultimately the player has made his decision, whether you are in favor of it or not. Don't be flippant about it. Don't disregard the person's contribution. He helped the nation to win the Nations Cup. He's given his time to the nation. There were sometimes I questioned it, but you have to understand that Victor Moses also has his own struggles with injuries and the rest, and then he has to find a solid position in Chelsea, so he's going to have to pay attention to that. It is his decision, but it doesn't mean that you should be disrespectful and insulting about it. Because you gave your full life to the Super Eagles doesn't mean that that was
Everybody
your choice.
Else should do that.
That was your choice. But for me, I think because of what Nigeria is trying to do with the Super Eagles, trying to build a winning team, I think that some key pieces, whether they're informed or not, shouldn't leave abruptly. So that's where I'm sad about the retirement of Victor Moses. Because of the 2019 Nations Cup, he's a key member, and his leaving would kind of cause some instability in the team. But what it is that he's made up position. He's trying to get a solid standing with Chelsea. He's not sure he can handle two competitions for nation and and for club at the same time, and he's decided to go. We wish him the best in his future endeavors. We thank him for his time with Nigeria, and hopefully we'll find a player that will replace him, and it will not be like another case of Okocha or Finidi or Emmanuel Amunike.
Right.
So thank you, Victor Moses. Congratulations on what you did with Nigeria, and we wish you the best of luck in the rest of your life.
That's a special statement dedicated to you, Victor
That's
Moses.
so cute.
I know. I just had to just.
There's a candle up in there. No, there is a candle in
no
the
candle.
studio. We do have to take a break though. When we come back, we'll continue talking more sports right here inside the locker room on Smooth Breakfast with Valentine,
And
Musa,
Folu.
Folu, and Tega Supreme.
Because Nigerians can be so bitter about
Yeah.
it. Somebody
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
Someone let's say
That's
come
to
and
figure
beg you.
out
Don't be
his
silly.
life.
Don't be disrespectful.
My goodness.
You may not like it, but don't
So
be
emotional.
disrespectful. Look at this and say Victor will not be missed one bit because he hasn't brought anything different to national team. How dare you? This is the guy that when he qualified Nigeria for World Cup, most
Yes, sir.
now, how many months down the line, they are already changing things. They are just a horrible nation. Are you serious? Get paid in 45 minutes in car 45?
Yep.
Hey, Omarosa's out Trump
Man,
picture. She's a good
strong
Trump
woman.
student. I'm sorry. She's a Trump student.
She's playing the same
I don't
cards.
care what people say. How did she tape all those? This woman recorded every
smart.
single
Not playing
thing.
with anybody.
Very smart.
Not
She's
playing
very-
with anybody. This girl's out for
Clearly,
herself.
clearly
Trump-
shaking the
Yes, no.
White House.
Trump-
She's like,
No.
oh, this is how she did when she was saying on the show. Oh, this you wanna come for me? You about to get it, Donnie. Donnie, you's about to get it. It's like reality TV show.
Uh-uh.
It's film.
And see how after sending like 4 tweets, the next day he will not remember something. He'll not see it again. Like, see this
He
guy,
doesn't know.
like, you should
He
just
trained
forget
this girl
yourself.
well. There was a reason why he liked it.
Apprentice.
He hired this girl 4 times.
Mm.
It's not here. They will go to their wish club and sort it out.
That's a nice outfit.
It's your secondary school's 10th year reunion. Everyone's writing up
Boy.
Oh, who owes me money?
I know, right? Somebody owes me like 3 million. I'm yet to remember the person's name
I need it now.
So you have to remember the name of the person that owes you money.
in my mind. I just have a feeling.
There's money floating somewhere.
Yeah,
That you-
somebody owes me 3 million. I remember the person's BVN says.
I'm like, what do you
I
mean?
remember.
I know where you live by now.
Detail.
No, I'll be in front of your house.
Yeah.
Driving Lagos. Simple rules for driving safely around Lagos. Did you know that the highway code has rules about lane discipline? When it comes to 2 lanes, drive in the right
Okay, we're in 10 seconds.
carriageway except when overtaking. Driving Lagos.
Studio.
Simple rules for driving safely around Lagos.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channels, youtube.com/smooth91FM Lagos. You're listening to The Locker Room here on Smooth Breakfast with Folu and myself, Valentine, and Tega Supreme. Good morning.
All right. Well, let's get into some of the messages that are coming through up on WhatsApp. Keep sending them in. This one in from Chimabi Victor says, Victor Moses will not be missed one bit because he hasn't brought anything different to our national team. Even my younger brother, Kaide, will agree with me. I don't know. what that means. While Shei says FIFA Hama is smelling in the 36 states of Nigeria. And says, Tega, that Spain shot was goal. My Chelsea also will wound Arsenal this weekend, Sha. And acting president, can you think of shifting the long to Ministry of Road Construction? Not a sack. Haba, Kilo Day. I'm not going to go with that last bit. This one is in from Tega from Satellite Town, who says, good morning. It's most unfortunate that most African teams still think that football and sports in general is 100% based on personal skill and talent. Until we understand the work that has to go into tactics and strategy, we will continue to fumble at an international level. And for Nigeria, results like these are not surprising when you have a Boy Scout as sports minister. Yikes. Tosan, meanwhile, says, this is such a disrespectful statement from Lawal. I'm so sad he's leaving the team, talking about Victor Moses, because Nations Cup 2019 is around the corner. I hope we can get a replacement for him. And then we've got this from Chimabi, who says, kudos to the Falconets. And Bash from Yaba says, Tega, please, does Moses have respect for this country? Who are you to criticize Garba Lawal's statement? Other ex-internationals have condemned his retirement.
Bash, I I will discredit his statement. It was disrespectful. He has his opinion. He may not like it, but don't be flippant about it. I remember all of you now that are talking. People were shouting, Moses parted the Red Sea when he helped us to qualify for World Cup. No wonder marriages are failing in Nigeria, because we're only down with people when times are good.
When times are great.
And the minute the person says they are not doing it again.
Yeah. We start to feel entitled.
I think you should judge people for making decisions that they feel are best for their life and their career.
It's the way we're flippant about it. 1 minute he's the savior. He's one who parted the Red Sea. He's the one who destroyed Cameroon and took us to the World Cup. The next minute, because Nigeria had the problem at the World Cup, everybody's just talking anyhow. Don't be. No.
Kenny Hetugate does agree with you, though. He says Nigeria has a serious problem with retirement and resignation. That's why people retire from active duty at 65, but still find openings in political positions. Victor Moses has retired honestly and honorably. Simply wish him well. All right. Anyways, let's move on. We've got more stories to get into. This one is in about nations vote for 18-team season-ending event. So controversial proposals to revamp the Davis Cup and turn it into a season-ending 18-team event have been backed by the National Tennis Federations. Now, a two-thirds majority among the 140 nations at the International Tennis Federation's annual general meeting, and the 25-year £2.15 billion sterling plan funded by an investment group led by footballer Gerard Piqué will start in 2019.
Gang.
Boss moves. Piqué said this, and I quote, sometimes things have to change, or they have the risk to die. I can understand for a very traditional tournament like the Davis Cup, it's difficult for people and they have doubts, and everyone agrees that change has to be done, but there are some people who think it needs other changes, and that is something I can understand. Sure, Piqué.
Thank you.
Big
The guy that said he wants to be...
Did you see this coming?
I didn't even see this coming with him in tennis. The guy that says he wants to become president of Barcelona is already making boardroom decisions in a completely different sport. It is so amazing. So he with his company and the backing of one of the sponsors of Barcelona Football Club, this guy is going to be president of Barcelona one day, except something happens. Decides that they're going to revamp what is now the Davis Cup. Now the Davis Cup is that tournament where nations play against each other in tennis. So they have they have I think 4 months, February, June, September, and November, I think, for their competitions. But I mean, in recent times, maybe like from 3 years or 4 years ago, the big stars always just withdraw from it so that they can schedule their calendar and win their own trophies easily, So when after Federer won Davis Cup, he barely represented Switzerland. After Novak won it for Serbia, he barely represented Serbia again. And then Andy Murray was the last person to win it, but he was telling that with all the injuries and his schedule, he'd rather. So the big name players were not really featuring for their teams anymore, and Davis Cup, their reputation was dying. So a few people had been calling for the change, and Gerard Piqué just capitalized on that. And so now they're going to have a new tennis World Cup. So 24 teams will compete in February, and then the final 12 will have like a World Cup in November as a season-ending tournament. It is going to be mad. So I can't wait to see it happen. But it was the fact that it was Gerard Piqué, though.
Let me just remind you guys, in case we've forgotten for a second, Gerard Piqué's wife is Shakira.
She's not the one with the braids, Joe. His father was president of Barcelona.
Every successful man.
That's so. She's singing somewhere.
All right, Lagos.
All right, a quick message up on Twitter. Ryder Remy says, Victor Moses, thank you. Diego Costa, 2 shots, 2 goals. Saul, 1 shot, 1 goal. Coke, 1 shot, 1 goal. UEFA Super Cup winners. Interesting.
Julian Lopetegui stressed Real Madrid have to improve in all their facets, actually, after their first competitive match under his management saw them suffer 4-2 extra time defeat to bitter rivals Atletico Madrid in the UEFA Super Cup. Lopetegui said in his post-match press conference, "We have good game. We've had good game phases, but it's not enough. We have to congratulate Atletico. I believe that they've won deservedly. We are not happy, and this negative is that we have conceded 4 goals, and this is not normal. This will have to be improved without a doubt. We have to improve in all facets. We do not like when we make mistakes, and we have to improve in everything, not only in individual errors."
Yeah, I totally agree. They look like they were just gunning down to try and get a few goals. It was a very open game. For a 1-game trophy match, I did not think I think if it was this, the game will not be that open. It's not like Real Madrid won't concede, but I don't think the game will be that open, especially even with the deficiencies that they had.
Yeah.
But both teams were trying to create chances. Real Madrid sometimes had the moments where they were the ones pressing, and Atletico Madrid had the moments where the ones pressing. But each time Atletico Madrid had the ball up front, they just looked more lethal or more likely to get a goal than Real Madrid did. Clearly there's a loss of Cristiano Ronaldo, but that was not really the main issue. If you ask me, with the team on the pitch, I still think that Real Madrid could have gotten something against Atletico Madrid. It was 2-2 at the end of 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It was extra time that there were goals scored. So yes, Julian has a lot to teach his team and to work it out. And I still think they need a lethal striker up front. Benzema is not going to do that work for you that you're looking for. He will score goals only when he can, not when he must. So I think they still need to do some buys. But on the other hand, for Atletico Madrid, they look set, ready, and ripe to compete for any and everything. So watch out for them in the Champions League. Watch out for them in the La Liga. They look set, especially with Diego Costa bullying everybody. I mean, he physically bullied Carvajal, Sergio Ramos, Varane. For the third goal, took three grown men, grown professionals out to get that goal scored. So yeah, congratulations to Atletico Madrid. They've won. Let's see how the rest of the season goes for them.
All right, let's move on and talk about Petr Cech, who will continue in goal for Arsenal against Chelsea despite criticism over his performance against Man City. Unai Emery has also confirmed this. He says, "I'm very happy with his performance," and he says this ahead of Arsenal's next Premier League fixture, which sees them place Chelsea at Stamford Bridge on Saturday. That's tomorrow. Emery goes on to say, "I think he has important goalkeepers for us, different qualities, but for us, like we want to play, the two goalkeepers can play. And Saturday, the decision is easy. Petr Cech will continue to start the match, and I believe in him. If he starts bad, I believe in him also."
That's interesting for your coach to back you up, but I think he's really, maybe he doesn't want to make swift changes immediately, especially as Arsenal started playing against big matches, Manchester City first and then Chelsea next, and maybe he doesn't want to make those swift changes. Otherwise, I don't understand why you buy a goalkeeper, because clearly you saw that there was a deficiency in Petr Cech and you will not play him. So I don't understand it yet, but maybe he's just giving Petr Cech a rope to hang himself by himself. You know how it is. You don't want to come and be the bad person. But it is a pretty big game to be taking that gamble. But if he believes in Petr Cech, hopefully Petr Cech will return the favor by performing very well on the day. Arsenal have other problems, especially defensively with injuries. Maitland-Niles came in to replace as a fullback, and now he has a fractured leg, so he's out for 6 to 8 weeks. It's the most ridiculous thing. But Arsenal still has a team, I think, that can beat Chelsea. And in recent time, from especially when Conte was around, Arsenal-Chelsea was up in the air. It was 50-50. Arsenal had a chance, Chelsea had a chance. Unlike under Jose Mourinho, when it was almost likely Chelsea. So let's see how Saturday will turn out for both teams, as it is. If you key player, Eden Hazard unsettled for Chelsea, and then for Arsenal, the new buys are trying to blend in. But it will be interesting to see that London derby Saturday evening. I'm still thinking it's open, maybe a draw. I can't see anybody win.
Take the last part of sports stories inside of the locker room. Keep your messages coming into WhatsApp at 0809 440 981.
Trump, the Boston Globe is in collusion. That's what they should name the White House.
It's a reality.
Big Brother House.
CNN need to create a film about Omayosa and this from first, because they're obsessed. So let's just create a film and know what we're watching.
You have not seen MSNBC.
Special edition.
Oh goodness, MSNBC. They got out of our side, and the guy said, "Well, you know, you're not the most credible source." She said, "Yeah, but I have my tapes." Like, end of discussion. You don't have to believe me.
So it's not a fact. She said, "Here's what happened."
She said, "This is Lara Trump."
No, that's it.
But you know that this is Lara Trump, right?
That's a deep move.
Yeah.
She's a political assassin. Don't play with this girl.
How can she get recordings? That's the first thing. That means the security in White House is lax.
It's compromised. But also, no one really expected her to be recording.
Dirty like that.
Identifies. I love it.
She knew what she was going in for.
necessary.
Yeah, because she knew. Donald Trump has fired her 4 times.
She knew.
So she knew that her.
She knew.
If you understand, she
was
had to
not-
have
She
something.
was not under any illusion.
Yeah.
That was a good.
She was the only one that was there to collect money. And trust me, if she didn't think she was going to get more from her book deal, she would have taken that 15K job that was offered her. Because immediately she was fired from White House, Laura Trump now said, "Come to campaign."
Sell
Exactly. So somebody had already offered her that book deal when she left. So when Laura Trump now came to say, "Come back and join the campaign," she was like, "Nah."
Nah, please. Stop right there.
Because we're not here for
Should have. This is Omarasa.
we're standing
People have entered one chance.
we're
You know the things that she knows that were seemingly stupid before. Muller doesn't even have to do anything. He'll just call Omarosa in private and say, "Give me all your tips."
Yeah.
your children want to be
I'm sure they've already met her.
Yeah, and your role in this thing is
No, I feel like I demanded.
Sorry, but yes.
easy peasy to leave when there is a speed.
Studio.
Adding comfort to life.
Love music, love life.
Where you love music, love life radio station. It's Smooth 98.1. And of course, we're talking sports inside of the locker room. Messages go to 0809 444 981. Also on Twitter at Smooth91FM with the hashtag LockerRoom981. So Cristiano Ronaldo's move to Juventus, coach Carlo Ancelotti's homecoming, and Parma's return to the top flight a mere 3 years after going bankrupt have made the Serie A season one of the most eagerly awaited in recent years. I'm going to prove that I'm a top player. That's what Ronaldo said, who is set for his debut at Chievo on Saturday in the season opening game. And he says, "I'm very ambitious and I like challenges."
yeah, and he also said he's the best player in the world right now. So
According
he's. I mean,
to
the thing is, his move to Italy did increase the value in some ways of the Italian Serie A. People will now be hustling for those TV rights because he's there. So whether you like it or not, he's a brand and he's selling. And he seems to be. Not that he seems. He makes moves to the right clubs. So now he's moved to Juventus, who won the title season in, season out for the past how many seasons.
Yeah.
The only thing that is still missing that they really want to get is the UEFA Champions League, and I think that's why they've made the buys that they've made, and that's why they've also got him. So ultimately, that'll be where the judgment of whether they were successful or not is if they win the Champions League, because winning the Serie A again will just be regular. But he'd like to make his mark or leave his mark there, so that's interesting to see. So I can't wait to see if he'll get a goal on his debut, because he's all
That'll be
about the
something
goals.
good to watch. Yeah.
All right, let's round up with several of your messages. Sharif Oluwaleke Akimbi from Lagos Island says, "For me, I think that Victor Moses retired because of the shenanigans going on at the NFF. I don't blame him." While Emmanuel said in this one, he says, "The studio behind the scenes is so sweet. Oh, the guy is sliding Moses now. Oh, what did Moses give you? Why should he retire at 27? It's like saying no to the nation. Tega, tell Moses we won't beg him, Joe. Please, he's entitled to. His legs are moving." Real Madrid, rather, sent this message about Real Madrid needing a lethal striker up front. Says Benzema is not the man that they need up front. They need someone like Costa who can bully defenders if they want to survive in La Liga.
This one's from Olumide Adeni. He says he knows that his position is no longer safe with the numerous options on the left side of the attack. He's relatively young, and I can bet if he was playing for a low-profile team, he would definitely not retire now. That's talking about Victor Moses.
Absolutely. That is his personal choice.
Yeah, and Bash from Yaba says, "Why are you stereotyping Nigeria? Is it not only Nigeria? It is only Nigerians that would show what you call flippant."
Not only Nigerians.
It's not only Nigerians that will show what you call flippant to a player that retires at 27 is Messi. Even Messi would be criticized by Argentina if he did what Moses did. I repeat, no country
That have retired and nobody has lost. They've not even missed a step. They've not lost sleep. Even with the way Ozil left, the only thing they are always quarreling about is that he mentioned that they were racist in Germany. That's the only thing they've ever done. Nobody has even said, "Why are you retiring now?" No, they're just saying, "Don't say that there's racism in Germany. Don't bring identity outside." So Bash, you guys need to grow up in this country. Grow up.
Shella says, I'm really sorry for Benzema this season, because now it will be really glaring that he just does not have enough goals. And he asks, how come Atletico always manages to get good players? Well, I was surprised to see Lamar has joined the brood. I thought they did not have a big budget. And finally rounds up by saying, yes, I agree with Tega. It's not easy to predict a winner in the Arsenal-Chelsea game. The one thing I can predict, though, is that Sarri will go through 300 cigarette butts on the touchline.
Oh, yeah.
Tension.
And on that note, we're done with Sports Inside the Locker Room for this morning. A massive thank you to everyone who's joined in the conversation. You can continue tweeting, of course, tag Tega. She's at Tega Supreme. She will respond to you. And of course, and some good work inside of Lagos Talks 981 for a Feel Good Friday.
Good morning.
Yeah, entitled to his career.